Well, welcome back to Western Province Cricket Club in Cape Town, South Africa. This is not the Newlands Stadium, but it is the Western Province Cricket Club Stadium in Newlands. Now, to explain the difference between the two, I'm going to hand you over to somebody who lives in Cape Town and who is very familiar to Scottish voices, Scottish cricket followers, none other than the very first coloured cricketer ever to play for test matches for South Africa, no one else but Omar Henry. Hello, Omar.
Hi there, Mike. Thanks very much.
What's the difference?
Well, there's a common denominator. They both stadiums is underneath Table Mountain, the famous Table Mountain. And the difference between the Newlands Cricket Ground and Western Province Cricket Club Newlands, there's also one other common thing is that the club, Western Province Cricket Club, actually in the past owned Newlands Cricket Club. They then sold it to the Western Province Cricket Association, which is the province who's the custodian of cricket within the Western Cape, in Western Province. And so the stadium Newlands now belongs to the Western Province Cricket Association, and the club then bought this piece of land and made their own cricket stadium.
How long ago was that?
That's possibly about 10 to 15 years ago.
Is that all?
Yes.
Well, it's a very modern pavilion that we're sitting in on the balcony overlooking this ground, a lovely outlook with Table Mountain in the background with its tablecloth still there.
They've always been they've been a sporting club in terms of playing other sports, like you can see there on the other side of this pavilion. You'll see the hockey stadium. They've also got other sports that they're playing, and it's a very nice club. It's an old club, and it's got big membership. And they produced some very fine cricketers in the past as well.
Oh, well, I don't know whether the camera can pan right to look at the Table Mountain scene. Oh, there you are. That's some of it. A bit left on that. Table Mountain's to the left a little bit.
Well, it's got the what we call the cloth day, where you can see the clouds.
Here it comes. Here is the tablecloth on the left-hand corner. That is Table Mountain with its tablecloth.
That's right.
Perpetually clothing it. And it's been closed all morning, all day so far.
Well, it's definitely a windy day, typical of Cape Town in the summer, but it's still a very nice day. It cools you off a little bit, otherwise you would have felt the heat, Mike.
Certainly does. Well, back to the purpose of this particular event, which is cricket, and this is the Fulton's Flyers team from Glasgow, which is preparing to play against the Langa Cricket Club. I don't know whether we've got an image of the Langa Cricket Club on the right. They're all lined up for a photograph there. Langa is a local township just outside Cape Town. Tell me a bit more about that, Omar.
Well, Langa is basically on the motorway as you drive outside Cape Town or on your way from the airport into the city. And one interesting thing is that one of the first ever black African cricketers that represented South Africa in the old days with Basil de Oliveira when he captained the non-white South African cricket side was Ben Malamba. He was a quick bowler, and I saw him as a boy bowling on matting pitches.
Goodness me, that betrays her age.
So he was from Langa, and he basically became the father of cricket in Langa.
Well, there we are, and here go the teams out into the middle, along with two umpires in last man stands cricket at club level, at local leagues. there's only one umpire. He keeps the score electronically online, and the square leg umpire is usually the next man in. So Fulton's Flyers won the toss and very boldly put in the Langa team, and this may be borne out by the fact that there was a team from the same club in Glasgow, Clydesdale Cricket Club, which came here in 2003. It was their under-21 team, and they played their last match of their tour, week-long tour, against the Langa Cricket Club. The amazing thing about Langa's cricket stadium is that it's got full floodlights, and at times it was very impressive. And I think the Clydesdale scored 220 in 50 overs. I don't think they were all out, and thought they'd done pretty well. They lost by 10 wickets. So never underestimate the opposition, particularly if their name is Langa.
Now there's a history of cricket there in Langa. The last one at the moment that's playing for South Africa is Bavuma. He's the latest contributor to the South African cricket team. Other one that comes to mind is Tame Cholekele, who's the wicket keeper. So there's some good sportsmen coming out of Langa. They love their sport.
Because they play football as well, do they?
They play football.
Yeah.
Football is possibly bigger than cricket, but Langa's historically also a very cricketing community.
Well,
I noticed the Fulton's
Flyers.
Fairly young team, Mike.
It is a young team, yes. The youngest is 18, that's Owen Taylor, and the oldest is Kazim Farid, who's 31, and most of them are in their mid-20s. What I think the management reckoned was that they're athletes still, they're good fielders. So we'll wait and see. And the opening bowler believes he's an athlete, but I regret to say that he still smokes cigarettes, and I'm trying to wean him off that. His name is Billy Patsada, and Billy is number 14 on his back. And the opening batsman is the number 5. I'm afraid I don't yet know his name, but we're hoping to find out fairly quickly. So here's the first ball, and Patsada bowls a wide outside the off stump, and just for viewers who are not familiar with the format here, that's the only wide that is allowed an extra ball in the over. Only one extra ball is allowed. There's 5 balls in the over, so that is one of them, but it's a wide, so they have another ball, so there will be 6 balls in this over. If there's another wide, it's a gift to the opposition of 3 runs, plus whatever runs they make out of the ball anyway. And the same with no balls. Bit of stump problem there, or Bale's problem. And the wicketkeeper is Gordon Munro, who toured to Cape Town in 2003 with the Clydesdale under-21 team, and was the life and soul of the party then, and probably is now.
Well, he's almost a local boy now, isn't he?
Absolutely. Here comes Patsada, and that's also wide, so that's a 3-run gift to batsman number 5. We'll find out in a minute what his name is. I apologise for not being able to tell you at the moment. And here comes Patsada. That's a straight enough ball, and it goes straight to a fielder in extra cover, who is remarkably near the stump, near the wicket for for this game, with only 6 outfielders, a wicketkeeper and a bowler. To have somebody inside the circle is really unusual.
Well, it's very attacking. I like that approach.
Yeah,
I think the bowler believes in himself.
yeah, and there's another one that's just gone for a single there. So number 5 is off the mark with a legitimate run. He's got 1 plus 3 gifts. Batsman number 1 now facing, and I think this maybe there's 2 balls to go. I think. How was that? That was an appeal. Where did the ball go? It went for 4 byes, was it?
Yep.
Or was it off the edge? I didn't quite see that. Let's have a look at that again. Oh, it was an inside edge.
Came back nicely.
Came back very nicely. So that was unlucky for Putsada. But anyway, it's gone for 4 byes, or four runs rather, off the inside edge. And that takes the score, I think, to a bit more than 5, it says here. And this is the last ball for Putsada. See what he makes of it. Coming up to number one batsman. And that's another gift of 3 runs.
Very interesting over so far.
Well, it's not what was ordered in advance.
Well,
I mean, there's only so much you can blame the wind on.
well, I was going to say to you, sometimes the wind can play a factor in it.
So that is the end of the over, because you can't have more than 1 extra ball, and that was it. So after 1 over, the Langa score is 12 for no wicket.
What I found interesting is that the game before, both teams started bowling into the wind.
Yep.
Where Scotland is bowling with the wind.
Yep. Well, that's another inside edge, as far as I can tell. That was the first ball from Callum Drummond, who was born in South Africa in Mafeking, and his mother is South African, but his father is from Glasgow.
Okay, lovely.
So he was born with both passports.
Okay.
And his parents are here to watch the game, so let's hope he straightens up. But they ran 1 and got 3 extra there, and that's a simple push out to mid-off for a single. So hopefully he's found his length and line in particular.
Well, it's nice and tall. Looks nice, fairly high action.
Yeah, that was on target, wasn't it? He's a student of cricket at Loughborough University in the UK. That's an elite university specialising in cricket, one of I think 4 or 5 only, 2 of them being Oxford and Cambridge, and I can't remember which ones are the others. That's a better ball as well. So I think he's got on target fairly quickly, and it's important that they all do that from the Fulton's Flyers point of view. The score is now 17 off nominally, I think, 10 balls. We're in the second over, and that was a dot ball. So that was actually quite a good over, apart
Very
from his
good
first
over.
ball, wasn't it?
Very good over. I think he's bowled nice and straight. He kept the ball up, which on Cape Town pitches is possibly best to do than rather bowling short. So very good over.
But I'm now able to tell you that the number 5 batsman is Kenny Fani, and he's got 10, and the other batsman is Sive, and can you pronounce it for me, please, Omar?
Dukumbini.
Ndukumbini, okay.
That's it.
I might call him Siva. Siva. Right. Right, the new bowler here is number 5. I can't see number 5 here. Can't spot who he is. How did he get number 5?
Arun Krishna.
Arun Krishna is supposed to be number... Oh, it is number 5. Looking at the wrong place. Yes, Arun Krishna. That's right. There we are, and that's a nice shot through extra cover. Sorry, mid-wicket. Just a single. Krishna looks as if he's reasonably on target. Now, Krishna is a member of the first 11 at Clydesdale Cricket Club. You have to be an all-rounder these days. But he's a reliable cricketer. Born in India. And that was a big swipe which he missed completely. Batsman number 1, that's Sive, I will call him, because I can't pronounce that name.
Dukumbeni.
Right. We'll do a double act.
That's right.
I'll make his first name and you do the second
I will
name.
do the second name.
So we're in the third over here, and the score for Langa is 17. There's another good ball, absolutely on middle stump there.
And whoever gave your bowlers some advice on how to bowl on Cape Town pitches,
Absolutely, yes.
you've done well so far. You've kept the ball up,
Yep,
try and bowl straight.
yep.
Very good.
So we've had 3 overs, 17 for no wicket. And at this time we've got Kazim Farid coming in, wearing number 75, because his shirt has got lost somewhere, so he's wearing my shirt. Nothing to do with my age, of course. So Kazim Farid is spin king. Oh, well, it's an interesting immediate appeal there. Let's have a look again to see if it was anywhere near the target. Umpire's coming up to check that. Look, can we have another look at that one? Probably not enough time. Here we go, the second ball now. Kazim Farid, he's the oldest member of the team, and straight back to him. He's 31 years old. He came to Cape Town on tour with Clydesdale Cricket Club's under-21s in 2003, and he was also here the previous year with the Scottish West District under-19 team, which you remember.
Yeah, I remember
because you helped organise it for us.
I remember that very well, very well.
So this is his third tour to Cape Town. Now this interesting thing I'll tell you in a minute about Kazim. Oh, well taken, going down the leg side, it seemed to be enough. Kazim Farid is the one member of this team who's never played LMS before, and I'll tell you why in a minute. He comes for another ball here, and that's a very fine edge, and that's gone for 4 runs. So that spoils what otherwise would be quite a good over for Kazim Farid. The reason why he hasn't played like Last Man Stands was last summer in Scotland. He was selected to play 3 games, and they were all rained off. And then he would have been playing in the finals. He would have possibly played 4 games in the finals over 2 days. They never took place. These are the hazards of cricket in Scotland. You've been there.
I've been there. I've gone through one season like that. It was a complete nightmare for me.
And we now have Andrew Scobie, who is the vice captain of this team. And where has that gone to? That was a bye, just for one bye. I think that was one. Anyway, Langa 23 runs for no wickets. Well, the bowlers are beating the bat quite frequently.
Well, they kept the ball up. I'm very impressed for a visiting team to come to Cape Town and
Andy Scobie.
do most of the things right in terms of bowling.
And he's been given out LBW. Now, Andy Scobie is not really a bowler, but he always takes wickets and never lets you forget.
Well, he bowled straight, which is very good.
Yes, indeed. He's an accountant by profession, so maybe he's counting the wickets.
Well, he can certainly count the right way.
So that was Kenny Fanny, LBW, Andy Scobie for 15 runs off 10 balls. Of 16 balls actually. I must adjust my spectacles here. So that was a promising innings cut short, I would think, from the Langa point of view. And Sivi Ungungumbini,
That's it.
he's not out 7 off 8 balls, and he's being joined by number 3 now. We'll find out in a minute who the next batter. Oh, here we are. Avil Jokazi is the next batsman. Avile Jokazi. What kind of background is that name?
I first have to see.
Well bowled Scobie again. Certainly had a fantastic over. Just 1 run off it, I think, if I remember rightly.
Very impressive so far.
And this must be his final ball of his first over. And that's another dot ball. Outstanding over. So that leaves the score at 23 for 1 after 4 overs. So skipper Paddy Barber very quickly trying to work out which bowlers are in form, and I think this is Kazim Farid come back again. Yes, Kazim Farid spin, of course, as you will well know, Omar, you can talk about this. Change the pace, change the game.
Just straight slightly down the leg side.
Lovely, well
Good piece of
fielded.
pickup.
Oh yes, well that was unlucky there, and just a moment, just half a fraction of a second, and that could have been a run out. And that was Aaron Krishna out in the deep there. You don't take 2 to Aaron Krishna very often. Not that Jokazi knew anything about that. So why are spinners so important, Omar?
Slightly short that one. Should only be
Scobie
1
fielding?
as well.
No, nobody takes 2 to Scobie.
Now, well, there was a lot of people who thought when T20 became a global phenomenon that's the end of spin bowling, because you can just smash them out the ground. And unfortunately, it was those who thought that it was going to be more difficult to play quick bowling. It was actually easier to play quick bowling in T20 cricket because I used the pace, where spin bowling was difficult, and it showed today that a lot of teams now are looking for 2 and more spinners within the team because they know it is far more effective. And if the spin bowler is brave enough to give the ball air as well and mix it up quite well in and over, he will be successful.
Yep, absolutely. Well,
So,
that just to say, that last ball there went out into the covers. It was Shariar Wan who chased it, and he didn't manage to save the 2, but it was a good piece of fielding. Here's another late cut now, this time to third man, and that's only 1 run. And that's, I don't know who's that out in the distance. What number is that? That's number 3. That's, I think, Callum Drummond. Or is that number 8? Number 3. That might well be Scobie again. He's got a long shift from one third man to the other end as well. Well, Scobie's actually bowling, so that's the reason why it's not Scobie. And it's going to third man again. I'm pretty certain that's Callum Drummond, number 8. So Callum, I first met Callum and his father in 2009 when I was in Scotland covering the World Cup qualifying tournament, between the associate countries, 50 overs a side. And Callum and his father were watching the game at the university ground in Johannesburg.
Right.
Begins with W. What's it? Can you remember?
Wits University.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. And I was filming it, and they came up, and the father said in a rich Glaswegian accent, "Are you from Scotland?" And I said yes, and he introduced his son, who was 13 at the time.
Right.
And Callum has played for the last 4 years for Clydesdale as
Fantastic.
a summer guest. Here comes Scobie again. And that is to Sive, so Sive gets a single, and that takes his score up to 10, not out, off 10 balls, so he's doing okay, or he's up to 11 now, off 11 balls. And Aviv Jokazi, it's 4 off 6, and that's the last ball. Aaron Krishna fielding. I think that's the last ball of Scobie's over, is it? No, one more ball to go. 30 for 1 wicket in the 6th over. So that's not bad for Langa. Good start. Solid start. And that's off the pads, I think. Leg by, is it? Yes, leg by for a single. And like all extras, that gets credited to the batsman.
All right.
So if you kick the ball deliberately, that's a run for you. I'm not quite sure whether about that rule actually, if you're allowed to kick the ball.
Yeah.
So Scobie again, and that was well bowled, and Gordon Monroe behind the stumps. He didn't catch it cleanly, but he's one of 4 wicket keepers we have in this team.
4? Is that strategically done or by accident?
A little bit of both, I think. You can't have too many backups.
Well, it's always good to have an extra wicket keeper.
So the next subject we'll talk about, Omar, is the trousers that the Fulton's Flyers people are playing in. I don't imagine there are many people who missed the fact that their left leg is somewhat colourful.
I like that. I like the bit of Scottish on one of the legs. Oh, full toss. Is it going to be?
1 bounce, 4 runs to square leg. Even Aaron Krishna couldn't move around the boundary quick enough for that. So I think that's the second 4 of the innings. If I remember rightly, maybe the 3rd. And that takes Sivi Ndumkumbini to 15 of 14 balls. And this is Kazim Farid having a shy at the stumps, but he was sent. The batsman was sent back. It was Nkumbini who was sent back, much against his better judgment. So I think the wind is perhaps moderating a little bit, is it?
Yep.
Does this happen in the evenings, is it?
Yeah.
That's going to be 2 runs.
Fairly strange day today. Yesterday was a fantastic day. It was windless. It was beautiful.
Yes.
Where I live, the beach was packed.
Yes, you've got a house overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, is that right?
That's right.
Do you go swimming frequently in the sea?
I don't swim.
Ah.
I don't swim. I walk in the sea.
You walk into the sea.
Correct. But when I came into Cape Town last night to come and watch the game here at Newlands, the T20 game between Cobras and the Titans, it was a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, big crowd, and that's normally on a beautiful day. People love to be outside here in Cape Town, and it was just fantastic. This morning when I woke up and I saw the wind, and my wife was here early on and she said it was just blowing, but if the wind didn't blow, it would have been far more hotter today as well.
Indeed, indeed.
So I'm glad for you, Mike, that it's a little bit windy today.
Well, this is Scobie's third over. Kazim Farid has also bowled 3, and there have been 3 other bowlers, so that, if I'm right, that's 9 overs, and the score is 40 for 1 wicket.
Well, if you say to me Scobie is not a regular bowler, then I am very impressed with him. His control is phenomenal.
Yes, indeed.
He's bowled very straight. Good tactic in T20 cricket. One thing is not to give width to batsmen, and he's done it superbly.
Well, I'm sure he'll want to quote you on that. That's just turned around the corner again, and that's Aaron Krishna going to cut off the boundary and getting the ball in, but not quickly enough for a possible run out. They might thinking about an overthrow. The wind, I think, took that away from the wicket, but that's just 2 added to the score, which makes it 43 for 1, and I'm pretty certain this is the 9th over of the game. 20 overs aside, 5 balls per over, and that's just a very straightforward single out to deep mid-on. 44 for 1. According to the official scorecard, that was the 8th over, so not the 9th. I miscalculated somebody here. Let's see who bowls now. Now we have the Fulton's Flyers skipper, number 1. That's Patrick Barber. Paddy to his non-Irish friends. And here's another one that doesn't bowl regularly. Oh well, that's a sighter, I think, for him.
A loosener.
A loosener. Right hand down a bit, I think, Paddy. 1 wide to the batsman's total. That's a better ball. Dot balls are absolutely invaluable. So we have Ndun Kumbini 15 and Jokazi is 5. And that's another wide, so that's 3 runs to Jokazi. 3 runs. 3 free runs. So tactical adjustment to the field there by Paddy Barber. The fielder on the boundary moved about a metre. Oh, this is not encouraging, is it?
That's going to be a long over.
It is. Well, no, it can't be more than 6 balls. But
well, it's longer than normal then.
That's better. And that's been just pushed out square of the wicket on the offside for a single. Better than giving away 3 runs.
Correct.
Now, that's a disallowed ball for some reason. Didn't see what happened there. That's the first reverse sweep of the day, and it's gone quite well down towards the what would be the 3rd man boundary, but just 2 runs there. 2 runs to Ndung Kumbini.
Kubini.
Kubini. It's very difficult to get your tongue around that, actually.
Well, it's a silent N onto the D.
Yes. I must try harder.
So it is not so easy.
No.
Not so easy.
So, well, let's try and get a refresh on this, because this scoreboard is way behind.
too wide outside off stump. Very nicely played off the back foot. Might go for 3. Yes, they do.
I'm just rebooting my live scoring. Nearly there, but the scoreboard at the Wally Wilson Oval in Western Province Cricket Club in Cape Town. The scoreboard says it's 55 for 1 wicket, and it says it's the 11th over, which is what I made it as well originally. So I'm trying to get here comes the live scoring online. All last man stands games are scored live by the umpire in the middle, so he has full control of what it says online. Oh, that was a splendid effort there. Nearly got under it for Kazim Farid. Not as young as he used to be, age 31.
Very good effort.
Yeah,
Very good effort.
It was, yes, that's right.
Would have been a fantastic catch if you got hold of that.
Keep talking, Omar. Keep talking while I'm trying to get this back up.
Oh, just misfielded it of his own bowling. Much better.
Shariar Awan is the bowler. Another of our ubiquitous all-rounders. He's bowling well. It keeps the ball down the line.
Well, the bowling of the Fulton Flyers is very impressive in terms of the amount of boundaries scored by the Langa batting team at the moment.
Well, I think Paddy Barber will be quite happy, despite the fact that there were too many wides. The score is only 56 for 1.
No, it's
the
very
11th
good.
over, yeah, absolutely.
Very good. I mean, if I look at the previous game, the Old Fools of Australia got quite a lot of boundaries in the first 5 overs. And by the time Mackenzie went in to bat for the Alex Chiefs, there was also a lot of boundaries. So far, the Fulton Flyers are doing very well. I like the field setting on the offside with a man in the covers, not on the boundary. That's very good.
Well, it's attacking, isn't it? It shows what's wanted. Well, that's a 1 bounce. Ball out to Callum Drummond out in the deep there, number 8. Easily picked up. No chance for 2. So here comes Aaron Krishna is the new bowler, and that's an overthrow, allowing them to take another run, and there's another overthrow. This is like a game of tennis here. Wicketkeepers at 45 degrees to the pitch.
The other thing I want to mention is that I think Fulton Flyers was very brave to start off with the wind and finish off all their overs into the wind.
Yeah, well,
but so
like,
far they've done well.
Yeah, well,
so
like
far they've done well.
Mind you, we're used to bad weather in Scotland, so
it doesn't matter, is it? Because today some big sixes was hit with the wind. Ball really flew out the ground.
That's going. Oh, it's going to be cut off by Billy Potsada in the outfield, and that's a good throw back to the wicketkeeper. So that's only 2 runs. You had to run around the field quite a lot there. When you consider that this is the first cricket match that these Scottish players have played since August, actually, because it rained the latter half of August and September.
No, you won't say that. I mean, the application and the skills is still fairly good, apart from the few wides, but that's understandable. You know?
That's a wide.
So they haven't had any cricket outside.
No.
Well, that's
No,
very good. I
not at
mean,
all.
it's to come out and just apply your skills immediately from a winter. I think it's excellent. There's the one. Just got hold of it, and the
That's
wind
the
carried
first
it.
six. Fantastic shot there by Jokazi.
Non-strikers
No,
very
no.
pleased with him.
Yes, absolutely. So that takes the score up now to 78 for 1, and I think this is the 12th over again. I'm sorry, the scoreboard that hasn't kept up with that, and the online scoreboard is also not showing us correctly. So there's obviously problems on the internet. And here comes Billy Patsada again. Let's see if he's got rid of the wide syndrome. This is his second over of the innings, and we'll see how well he copes here. I think this is the 14th over. No, the 13th over. 13th over. That wasn't a wide, was it?
Very good ball.
Yeah.
Very good ball. Just on an outside off stump, back of a length. Nice pace of a short runner.
And that was just turned just past the wicketkeeper. It's gone for 4 runs, just. Gordon Munro in fast pursuit. Well, that was an unlucky one, I think. Are we going to see a replay of that just to check out what the shot was?
It's just gone slightly too straight.
I think it came off the bat, didn't it?
Yeah, just slightly too straight.
Yeah. It probably went down the leg side a little bit, got a thin edge. Doesn't take. Actually, if you keep the ball on the ground, the wind doesn't affect it so much.
No, definitely.
Billy Patsada. And that's unlucky. Well done, Gordon Munro. And that was Jokazi, who was setting off for a run before looking to see where the ball was. Sent back by Kumbini.
That's
Get
the
it
line.
before
Much
the end
better
of this
line,
game.
just on an outside off stump. It's very good.
Yep. Patsada again. And that's been hit high and mighty, and it's gone right out of the ground. Second 6 of the innings. Takes the score up to 88 by my reckoning.
Oh, that was right into the slot. That
Only 1 wicket down, but we have Jokazi on 42. So he's approaching the retirement mark of 50. When you get to 50, you have to retire and come in at the end if everybody else has lost their wicket. And the other opening batsman, who was Kumbini, he's on 29, not out. So they're busy conferring in the middle, and that's the end of the 13th over. And who we got now? We've got Callum Drummond coming back to bowl. Born in Mafeking, lives in Loughborough, and commutes between the UK and South Africa.
Loughborough University is that in Durham, is it?
Loughborough, he's in his second year at Loughborough, the elite cricket university.
Okay.
And at the end of his first year, he played for the first team for the first time, and I think he took 4 wickets and scored 20 odd runs.
Fantastic.
So that was all right. So I think they'll ask him back.
Fantastic.
Here he comes again. wide down the leg side. Can't have been very wide. The wind, of course, is coming straight down into the bowler's face, so you would expect the ball. There's another one down the leg side, you see, and it's only just down there.
Yeah, it's not so easy to come into the wind.
No.
Very disruptive in terms of your run-up.
So Drummond again. Now,
oh, that hits the...
That, I think, has hit him in a very delicate spot. He'll recover, I'm sure. Yes. So, did it hit him in the face?
Looked like it, almost in the eye.
It wasn't that delicate a spot then.
Almost in the eye, that.
Well, he'll recover
But
from that, I'm sure.
He's up and running again.
I mean, he was an international hockey player.
Well, then he must be tough.
And, yeah, definitely.
I said to my son when he started to play hockey, you're a madman.
But that ball from Drummond started outside the off stump and it steered in very nicely. Watch this one again, see if you can replicate that. There you are, and that's gone out to mid-off, just for a single. You've got to get your line right, and you've also got to get your length right
Well,
when you're bowling.
He's took the pace off quite nicely and kept it right up there and forced the batter actually to play too long off, which is a good thing to do.
That's the last ball of the 14th over, and that's going just for an easy single. And that takes the score up to 95 for 1 after 14 overs. 6 more overs to go, and Jokazi is on 43, so he's nearing the moment when he has to retire at 50. And at that point, of course, it's like having a wicket. A new batsman in, less familiar with the conditions, and the other opening batsman, Kumbini, is on 34, not out now. And here we have Akram again, bowling, and where's that gone? Down into mid-wicket area. They'll only get a single for that.
Yeah, it's the timing of that 50 and you have to retire. It's a very tricky business. If you have to retire after 15 overs, it just leaves the batting side in a very tricky position.
Yes, indeed. Well, Sharia Awar out there at square leg, he's not going to let the ball go by him. And of course, you have to guard, the last man stands rules guards against the possibility of players giving their wickets away deliberately. You're not allowed to do that. What on earth was that?
Well, he was trying to play the scoop,
Yeah,
and unfortunately for him, it went all wrong, and all
That's a
ended
leg
up
by.
on his butt, his backside.
so it hit his backside and counts as a leg by. I think in some circles they might count it as a bum by. Certainly a bum shot. Akram, now they're trying again. This time he connected properly with the bat and went for 4 runs. So how would you counter that if you were a bowler, Omar?
Well, he's played that one very well. He's watched it. He didn't predict it like the previous one.
Would you bowl it shorter or make it a full toss?
Well, it depends when you actually see him. Some guys wait very late, and as a bowler, you just accept these kind of things now. I mean, the game has moved on, and batsman has got so many ways of scoring runs and
Well,
playing shots.
Langa have now passed the 100 mark. They're 103 for 1 in the 15th over, and there's Akram again. It'll only be a single, I would guess. Oh, Sharia Awar just misfielding a little bit there, but they didn't go for a second run, so that's probably an acceptable over, although only through unorthodox shots, some of which, well, both of them went to the boundary, one off the wrong part of the anatomy. 104 for 1 for Langa, and Jokazi is now on 44 for 1, and Kumbuni is on 42 for 1, so they're neck and neck, more or less. And this is, which one is facing this one now?
Well, it will be interesting to see what happens if they both get to 50.
Indeed. Patsada bowling again, and that was a good ball. It beat him for pace, and it was also rising still when it went past the batsman.
Well, I think either way could suit Fulton Flyers. Yeah, yes. They either get to their 50 within the 20, or they get their 50 close to the 20. Something has been querying there, not sure what that is.
Well,
batsman is not too happy.
I think the batsman has been told that he's already reached 50, and I think I agree. The scoreboard rewarded. Wait a minute, what's happening out there? The umpires have been consulting, and I'm not quite sure who's wrong. Both umpires. Oh, there's 3 umpires out there. I didn't realise that. So that's Jokazi's got another run to his name, takes him up to 45. No, that was beg your pardon, that was not Jokazi, that was Nkumbini, who goes up to 43. This is Jokazi. Jokazi is number 3, and number 1 is Nkumbini. It's very difficult to tell them apart with both players having helmets, unless you see their backs with the number on it. Billy Patsad is the bowler, and that's almost wide outside the off stump, but perfectly well thought of by the umpire, and Gordon Munro with the gloves stopped it from going any further.
Oh. Can he finish well now? It's been a very good over so far.
Indeed. This is Billy Patsada's 3rd over. Missed his run up. He's improved in each of his overs so far.
Yeah, he's definitely come right now. He struggled a little bit with his run up there into the wind. Well ball, yes. Very well ball.
That was very well bowled. Only 1 run, but it was a full length, that one, wasn't it?
Nice, full and straight, and he ended up very well.
And that's the end of Patsada's over. 16 overs gone, 106 for 1 is the score for Langa. The game, I think, evenly poised, because I think probably 150 would probably be a satisfactory final total. And so Langa, I don't think will get to 150. It's not impossible, but I think probably Paddy Barber will be happy enough at the moment, as long as they keep bowling better. And here comes Callum Drummond again for his, and that's been given out to LBW. Callum Drummond, the LBW specialist, that's his 3rd over and his 1st wicket. Oh, and question mark has been asked, and I think there's been a double play, has there? Has he been given? Has he been given? There's some dispute with whether that was unsporting. Gordon Munro went up to the other end of the pitch to take the bails off. And it's possible, yes, so they're all kissing and making up. Paddy Barber, I think the Fulton's Flyers skipper probably used his discretion to allow that wicket to stand.
I think the batsman wasn't aware of that double play situation.
Yes, maybe, yes, that's right. Have we seen a replay of that? I'm not sure that we have. Maybe see it again at some stage just to check it out. Anyway, the batsman is still there. That's number 2, the opening batsman, who was Nkumbini. He's on 43 not out. And the new batsman is number, can't see it quite, 31 is it? That gets him off the mark. 107 for 2 wickets now, Langa, the 17th over. And the bowler is Callum Drummond. And there's another scoop, gone for 4. That's his favourite shot, isn't it? Yeah, that was the same guy.
There's quite a big gap between square leg and the wicket keeper. There's no fine leg,
No, that's right.
which is actually a very good field setting.
But you can't, frankly, the batsman doesn't know where the ball is going to go.
Well,
He has a good idea,
when
but
he does go straight, they play the scoop.
yeah,
If he bowls on and outside off stump, it's not that easy.
Drummond again. And he tries again, and it very nearly gets an edge to the wicketkeeper. So I think that was possibly a slightly slower ball from Drummond.
Well, and that's the right line as well, especially when you haven't got a fine leg.
Yeah.
So it's very good recovery from McCallum. Or Drummond, is it? Not McCallum.
Callum Drummond.
Callum Drummond.
That's it. And that one's hit square on the offside. It's only going to be a single. Kazim Farid coming round from extra cover. They're amazingly close to the pitch, aren't they, these
Yes.
fielders here?
No, I like the
Yes.
offside field placings has been very good. And I must say they stuck to their lines possibly better than most teams so far. And if you say that Fulton Flyers haven't played a game outside, then it's remarkable. It's very good.
Unkumbini is now facing his 48, so 2 more runs and that looks as if it might be. Oh, that's the other bat. Yes, that's him, number 1. So that's 1 run. He's still got another run to get, and then he's retired. And this is Aaron Krishna's final over. He's kept that for a single. We're in the 18th over of this 20-over game between Fulton's Flyers from Scotland and the Langa team from the township just outside Cape Town. The 2 teams, or the Clydesdale team, have played here before against Langa, not at this particular ground, but at their own ground. So you could say revenge might be sweet.
Well, I was going to ask you the question. Will 125, I reckon, what is it? 2 more overs to go after this?
Well, that's a wicket.
That's a wicket, yeah.
LBW, wasn't it? Let's see it again. It's Krishna's wicket.
That's Ngombeni gone. In comes Shah Langeveld, the guest player. He can wheel the willow. So it might be an interesting 2 overs to come. Yeah,
Indeed.
LBW.
Indeed.
I was going to ask you whether 120, 130 will be
Well,
okay for the Fulton Flyers.
Oh yeah, definitely. 130 would be.
They can manage that.
They're very happy about it. I mean, in our conditions in Scotland, we would reckon 150 minimum is what you want. Anyway, here comes Krishna again to the new batsman. And that's new batsman, a lovely flick off his legs there for 4 runs, number 37.
That's Shah Langeveld.
The internet is showing this match as being completed.
Is that it?
So there's something wrong with the internet scoreboard at the moment. Sorry about that, but we're in the 18th over. It's not been. This is his first innings, and that was the last over for Aaron Krishna. I think he got 1 wicket, or was it 2 wickets now? Because I think he had a wicket earlier. And Billy Patsada is coming back for his 4th and final over. Let's see if he can continue the improvement, get a wicket now. That's a straight ball, and it's keep you calm, keep you calm. Unlucky, but they are the last few balls of the game will be highly competitive. Every ball a run.
Very good fielding of his own bowling.
Indeed. That's 119 for 3 wickets for Langa against Fulton's Flyers here at the Western Province Cricket Club. And here's Patsada again. That's going out to deep mid-wicket for only a single run, unless there's an overthrow, not likely. 120 for 3.
Langerfeld had a good hard swing to that delivery.
8 balls left in this innings, theoretically. And that's been hit well. That's going for 4 runs. Lovely shot through extra cover in the gap between 2 fielders. 4 runs all the way. Well hit.
Beautiful. Using his feet down the wicket, gave himself some width and placed it.
As Geoffrey Boycott would say, proper cricket. So Patsada again. And that was an edge. Oh no, he didn't obviously get an edge, did he? No. I thought I heard a click.
I saw him coming and just bowled it a little bit slower, a little bit wider. Very clever.
Yep, absolutely right. Okay, Patsada, finish off the way you want to. Oh, well fielded in the back. 2 fielders out there combining together to stop the 4, but 2 runs taken. And that takes the score to 128, I suspect, 128 for 3, with 5 balls, 5 legitimate balls to come. So who's going to bowl the final over? It's going to be Callum Drummond, the local lad made good. He's already taken 2 wickets. This is his 4th and final over. And he is the one that's realised that if you slow the pace down, it flummoxes the batsman. And you can't do a scoop with a ball that you don't know when it's going to arrive.
Correct.
So here he comes now. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve here. It's going to be 6. That was a little bit too full, that ball. He's
timed that very well with the wind. Just extended his arms through the line.
And that one goes just for a single out to mid-on. Won't get any more than that.
Much better delivery. Full and straight.
133 for 3 the score is, with another 3 balls to come from Callum Drummond. Here's one of them. And that's going out to deep mid-wicket for a single. I think Fulton's Flyers will be happy with the singles in this over. 134 for 3 now. 2 more balls to come from Drummond, and then the innings will be over. And that was slightly down the leg side, but the batsman had a swing at it and failed to get there. And I think we're now getting to the final ball, and this one here, if this goes for 6, it counts for 12 in the last man stands panoply of wacky rules. Well, it won't be 6, and it will be 2, but it won't be more than 2. So I think both sides will be reasonably happy. The final score here at Western Province Cricket Club, Langa have scored 136 for 3 wickets in their 20 overs against Fulton's Flyers from Scotland. Langa, of course, the local town, the local township outside Cape Town. Fulton's Flyers from Clydesdale Cricket Club in Glasgow, and Omar Henry has been my co-commentator for this particular innings, who can tell you a little bit about his experiences of being in Scotland and being a coach in Scotland for 13 years, I think.
Been a very long time, that, huh? Never thought that I was going to be there in Scotland for that long, but I think 13 years well spent, 13 years of enjoying my cricket.
You started off at Pollock Cricket Club, which is a near neighbour of Clydesdale, they're great rivals, and you were responsible for bringing through two more left-arm spinners like yourself.
Yeah, a guy called McKnight and the other one Keith Sheridan. Two lovely kids. They loved their cricket, they were very passionate. Two lovely guys to work with, and saw their progress, and I think they've done fairly well for themselves.
What other clubs did you play for and coach?
Well, I went to Stenhousemuir after that, in the east, which was quite good to get experience of what cricket was in the east. And then I went up north to Arbroath, which was also another good experience. It was sort of an educational.
Was he? He was a wicketkeeper?
Who was that?
Brown? No. Maybe I got the wrong one. No, that's right. Carry on, sorry.
When I was at Arbroath, and I experienced the cricket up north, it was fairly interesting for me to see how different the three unions played their cricket. The west, the east and the north. And it gave me quite a good perspective of what cricket was like, and I got a better understanding of the mentality of the various unions as well.
And did you bring that mentality or the knowledge of that mentality to your Scotland coaching job?
Well, it helped me. It helped me to manage the players, and it helped me to get them to work together and to understand that, because that was sort of one of the catalysts of knowing your teammates and sort of complement what they're doing and enhance what they're doing to one another. And if we can add all those little things, because when 10 amateurs and one professional play against a county of 11 professionals, you need more than just your own effort to beat them. And I think that was one of the key things that made us develop into a better team, and eventually had the occasional victory over the counties.
And you were, of course, a player coach at that stage.
Yeah, I mean, it was in a way an opportunity, but on the other side it was also me getting thrown into the deep end, and it was a case of sink or swim. But it was I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great environment. The players that I played with had a lot of passion. They sacrificed a lot because they were amateurs. And for me, the encouragement was every time I come over there, year after year, I saw the improvement in the individuals. And for me, that was very good. Kept me going. So I also benefited from that environment myself. My own cricket improved as well. So it was very good.
And on a personal note, both your children were born in Glasgow, were they? Or in Scotland?
Yes. Well, two of them. The middle one was born here. She's not very happy with me not being born with the others in Scotland, but that was my life. I was like a gypsy traveling backwards and forwards.
And how many of them are playing cricket?
The one, my son, my baby son, he's now playing in Scotland, and he's enjoying himself. He's had his first season with Fergusley, and for his first season I think he's done very well with the club. I think they came second in the league. There was an opportunity for them to win the league, I think, but they just fell short in the middle span, and then towards the end they came right. But that's all part and parcel of experience. He thoroughly enjoyed it and looking forward to go back there again next year.
So Scotland has been a major influence in your life, and Scotland's cricketers have been under the influence of the Henry brand for some time.
Well, I think that Scotland has done well for me.
Did it help you to become the first coloured player to play Test cricket for South Africa?
Well, it most definitely helped me. The mere fact that I could play for 12 months of the year, that was part of my plan to develop my own cricket. The mere fact that I could play for Scotland against counties just tested my ability to improve as well. That kept me going. And then possibly the best thing that could have happened to me was to play international cricket for Scotland. And by the time I represented South Africa, international cricket wasn't new to me. So by the time South Africa picked me to play for them against another country, I had the self-belief that I belong in that arena. So yeah, it was fantastic. I hope that I could see Scotland one day become a full member, like Ireland and in Afghanistan, because I think the talent is there. They do have, as a country, their challenges in terms of the weather and conditions, but history will tell you that some very fine cricketers come out of Scotland. So it just needs to be encouraged and a little bit thinking out of the box and really support cricketers from a very young age.
Well, I think Scotland have recently qualified for the qualification tournament for the World Cup in the 50-over game.
Well, yeah, I think that is one thing that Scotland need to keep going is to keep striving to qualify for the World Cup, and then the next step in the World Cup is obviously to do well in the World Cup and start to get some victories under their belt in the World Cup. But the main thing for me is to have a vision and a program in place how to become a full member. And I think that is possibly one challenge is the longer version of the game, to improve in that, four-day cricket. And then the other one is to grow the numbers. I think the regional cricket is a good concept, but I think there's too little teams in regional cricket. Ideally, a 6-team regional cricket would be a good number, and it will create opportunities, but you need to start from a younger age to increase the numbers and then improve the quality.
Well, Cricket Scotland have won the ICC's coaching award every year, or not every year, but several years now. They've won that, and deservedly so, because they've worked very hard at the junior coaching setup, and they've got a good international team. Some of them are getting a little bit long in the tooth, but not as long in the tooth as the Irish international team, which has now acquired Test match status, but actually too late, because they've got a younger bunch who aren't as good as the previous bunch.
But I think if I look now at Scotland and Ireland, earlier when I was in Scotland produced quite a lot of players who played county cricket. I'm not sure whether that number has increased now or whether it is less. But Ireland followed that strategy, and if you look at almost 7 or 8 of the Irish players, they've had a very long career in county cricket, and I think that is where they learned their trade and got better. So maybe there is a recipe for Scotland in terms of getting more players into county cricket on a regular basis at a young age, so that they can get benefit from that development processes as well.
Well, here we are, the Fulton's Flyers innings has now started. We've had one ball, and I'm afraid we're going to have to be referring to the bowlers by number. Number 4 opened the bowling. His run-up looks as if it's slightly longer than the regulation. I don't know if anybody's going to pick him up for that, because you're not supposed to run in for more than 10 metres. And there seems to be a lot of celebration about nothing there. Because the opening batsman is skipper Paddy Barber, and he's having nothing to do with any kind of appeal for whatever it was. But there have been two dot balls, and as I say, this bowler has got a run up that's too long by the rules of the last man stands, and so that's another one that another dot ball that he's failed to connect with, and the bowler is not happy with the fact none of the balls have connected, not even an edge. But he's taken the third man slightly finer, just in case. The ball goes for 4 down there, and here comes ball number 4, and again the same ball, same result exactly. 4 dot balls. Well, that's what you want from an opening bowler.
Very interesting tactic. Hit the deck back of a length, outside off stump.
I think the batsman has got a run to his name, and I think that must have been a wide. Because he doesn't look
the umpires.
Yes, the umpire is now telling him you're not allowed to bowl that length of run up. Quite right. There you are, he's shortening his run up 10 metres. I wonder if they took that hint from me. Here he comes. And that's the 5th ball of the over, that's the end of the over. So the score is, after the first over of the Fulton's Flyers innings, is 1 for no wicket, and that one was a wide, credited to skipper Paddy Barber. We'll see how that goes, and the other batsman who's about to face is number 13, Sheriar Awan, age 22. He's one of 2 qualified accountants in this team. We have a qualified doctor.
So you shouldn't have a problem to work it out how to get to 136, eh?
Well, we shall see. It's 136 to win now. I have it on the best authority.
Well, if you've got 2 accountants, you should know how to get there.
Absolutely. So, and the first bowler, the second bowler rather, is number 5, I think. We'll just check it out. He's a slow bowler, and he's leggy, I think.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
He's almost like Mr. Adams,
Cherry.
looking down at the ground. What number
Looking
is
at
he?
his feet and not where he must bowl.
Yeah.
The right-hand version of Paul Adams. Could be 2.
Oh, it could be 2, yes. Should be interesting. Yeah, well, there you are. That's 2 very well taken runs, and that is number 5. I wonder what his name is.
Well, interestingly enough, is that Langa also decided to bowl with the wind.
Right.
First spell.
There's a name, Nitala. Nitala was the first bowler, and this is
Fani.
Fanny.
change of field.
Well, thank you very much indeed to the QTV graphics man for keeping us right there. But he's got the wrong batsman. Patsada is not the opening batsman. It's Paddy Barber, B-A-R-B-O-U-R.
Only 2 fielders on the offside. Oh, and there's a mistumping opportunity.
Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, did that come off the wicketkeeper's foot? So that takes the score to 4, I think. Because they took 2 and they had a 1 and then a 1. That's right, that's 4. And that's a very sensible piece of batting by Paddy Barber. And is that the end of Fanny's over? No, one more ball, I think.
Well, very good over from Fani. Missed opportunity of stumping. And so far, 2 overs gone. The Fulton Flyers 4 for no wicket. Third bowler, number 6. Another spin bowler, right arm. Also a leg spinner. Oh, missed it completely. Hit him on the pads. Good fielding by the keeper. Barber tried to use his feet. Unfortunately, couldn't get back onto it. Oh, very nicely played.
Fine stroke there by Paddy Barber, one of his best.
Gave himself
drive.
some width there.
Yep.
Hitting it through that vacant area at cover.
Bowler number 6, and that's going for 4 certainly. No, it's not. There's a fielder out there. Just spotted him. So that's 2 runs. 2 runs to Barber, getting his eye in.
Beautiful ball.
That's another single there. So that takes Barber up to 9. And meanwhile, Sheriar 1, who's facing now, he was on 2, and that's 4 runs because it escaped the fielder. Would have been a very good catch if he'd got it, but number 4, Nithala. He wasn't really there, was he?
No, I think the wind sort of also bamboozled him a little bit.
Very, very difficult trying to catch the ball when it's high up in the wind.
Sort of hesitated to get underneath the ball and unfortunately went through the hands for 4.
So the score now for Fulton's Flyers at the end of the 4th over, at the end of the 3rd over, sorry, is 16 for no wicket. And here comes Fanny again, and that's been clean bowled. Barber is clean bowled for 9 runs by Fanny.
fantastic delivery.
It was very good delivery, wasn't it?
Got him to come down the wicket, beated him in the flight, and just hit the top of middle stump.
Absolutely.
Spin bowler's dream delivery.
And there is your professional judgment from Omar Henry. That's the man who's commentating on this game. And for those who are perhaps younger than Omar and myself, I must remind you, Omar Henry was the first coloured test player for South Africa. And that's something that can never be taken away from you. Did it come as a surprise to you, Omar?
Well, it did. I never thought that in my cricket career's lifetime that South Africa will be back in international cricket. I was sort of a settled cricketer in Scotland when I was confronted with that sort of decision, and fortunately or unfortunately, I decided to come back and take the risk to gamble whether I would make it into a South African team.
Because you were in your 40s, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm the oldest cricketer to play for South Africa or be selected for South Africa at 40. So I never thought I was past my sell-by day. I played my best cricket my last 3 seasons of my career, for whatever reason.
Well, you've always been fit.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was possibly one of my strengths as a cricketer. But to my surprise, I played my best cricket my last 3 seasons, and I think that was what gave me the confidence to come back and try to get into the South African team, because I was still competing with bat and ball on the field.
Well, the new batsman for Fulton's Flyers have just got off the mark. It's Andrew Scobie, who's the vice captain, and he is the other accountant in this team. In fact, both accountants are out there batting at the moment.
Then you've got no problem.
So they should know what their own scores are.
They should know exactly what to do.
And they can complain if the scoreboard hasn't caught up, which it hasn't done.
If they can apply the right technique and the right tactics,
and
they
both
can count.
of them running very, very well between the wickets.
They can count. So it will all help at the end of the day.
So that's the end of the 4th over. Fani gets a wicket. And who we got bowling now? Is this the same guy? No, it's another spinner. We'll see what his number is in a minute. Number 5. Oh, that's Fani back again. He must have. Was it? Maybe it's the same over. I thought it was over. Is this the same over?
Yes, the over's finished now, yes.
It isn't finished now, beg your pardon. I'm way behind there. So now it's 4 overs gone, and Fani has got the only wicket so far. Fulton's Flyers has got 2 accountants batting out there. They're consulting each other, making sure that they still can add up, both of them, to the same total. And the total for Fulton's Flyers after 4 overs is 20 for 1 wicket. And Sheria Awan has got 9 runs, and Andrew Scobie, who's just come in, has got 1. So the scoreboard's finally caught up with us, and now we have number 6 again? I think that's number 6 bowling again, so this is his second over. Scobie facing.
Well placed. Possible 2. Yes.
And possibly another one. No, thought better of it. No, I thought number 6 was the one that was told to shorten his run up. He shortened it even more.
Now this is the leggy.
Of course, it's a leggy.
Yeah.
That's right. That's fine. Yeah.
Wow, ball.
The leg is in a hurry. Of course, in 20 over cricket, if you have two slow bowlers, the overs go through very, very quickly, and the batsman can frequently lose touch with reality. But that was a wide. It's a single to Andrew Scobie, who's facing, and that one is going to be another two. Yes, indeed. Sheriar running extremely well between the wickets. So that takes Scobie to 6. Sheriar Awan is on 10, and the Fulton's Flyers total in the 5th over is 26 for 1 wicket. Here comes the leggy, number 6. And that's another wide now. This time that's 3 runs to Andrew Scobie, who will feel very pleased with himself. Having only faced about 5 balls, he's on 9 not out.
Well, that's the end of the over.
That's the end of the over. So 29 for no wicket now, Fulton's Flyers, and 5 overs gone. And here we have Fani again. They're going to continue with the unorthodox leggy.
Well, they.
Or is he turning the ball the other direction?
He's turning the ball. I think the other one was the wrong on that he bowled the opening batsman with.
Well, that one too has gone too. I mean, the Fulton's Flyers are running their twos very well, aren't they?
Well, they have to, because they're not getting the boundaries that is required, especially with the bowlers bowling with the wind.
Yep.
So it's important that they get at least 2 of some of the deliveries.
And it's a nice square cut by Sheriar Wan. Takes him up to 12, 13 in fact.
Well, they stay in touch. Is around about 6 and over at the moment, and the required rate is possibly just over 7. So the longer this partnership can carry on, the better. But they're going to need a few boundaries in between.
And I'm now in a position to tell you what the name of number 6 is. Kolo Sidvail. Kolo Sidvail. Is that
Sidvail.
Y at the end, yes.
Yeah. Another 2 possible, yes. Well, it's good placing.
Yes,
to make sure that they get the 2 runs.
One goes up to 17, the score goes up to 36, 1 wicket down, and we are in the 6th over.
There's a catching chance again. Oopsie, all hands.
Oh, misfield.
And another 4.
Has gone for 4.
Very lucky. Fielder nowhere near that one, unfortunately.
Well, that's Awan's second 4. I don't think anybody calls him Awan. We all call him Sherry. I don't think he drinks sherry either.
Langa team in search of a wicket.
Oh, it's a slower ball, very carefully bowled, very much slower. And Sheriar was up to it, waited for it, and played it very calmly to square on the offside.
Well watched ball.
You love watching spin bowlers, don't you?
I love watching spin bowlers, and I love watching quick bowlers.
And but the spin bowlers must use flight variation.
Carl, everything. Variation, positive approach, attacking. That for me is key elements in spin bowling.
Well, Sheriar, there must have been a wide there somewhere, because Sheriar went suddenly up to, he's now 21, and Scobie is on 9, and Fulton's Flyers are on 40 for 1 wicket after 6 overs, and they're chasing 104 40, so 137 for victory. So that's not a bad start for Fulton's Flyers.
Well, they're on course. They're on course, and I think that the longer this partnership can grow, the better. But they're going to need some boundaries in between every now and again, just to stay in touch. Langeveld, the bowler now. Ooh.
That's a new bowler, number 37, I think his number is, if I remember rightly.
That's Charles Langeveld.
And his name is Lanagveld.
Charles Langeveld. Yeah.
Charles Lanagveld. You know him?
Yeah.
Yes. Is he a former professional?
Yes, he's.
And he's getting a bit of pace off about 5 paces.
No, he's got some pace there. He's got some pace there. Fulton Flyers won't be too used to that one.
So he's been brought on to stop the rot, has he?
Well, I think so. They're seeking that wicket.
Well, that was close to being a wide, says Gordon Drummond behind the stumps, suggesting to the umpire that just because it's a famous name, he shouldn't be excluded from the wides.
It all counts, eh? It all counts.
Gordon Munro is a well-known sledger.
Oh,
how was that one?
Oh. I don't think Awana
Let's watch that again.
had an
Here we are
idea
again.
what happened there. It came back nicely, but missing leg
Missing
stump.
leg stump it must have been.
Missing leg stump.
Yes,
Good delivery.
indeed. The slow motion now. Oh, that is a benefit of the doubt one, that one. So Awan lives to fight another day, and that's a single, which takes him up to 20 not out. No, 21 not out. There was an adjustment.
Well,
And that's the end of Langevold's first over.
Fulton Fly survived that over from him, and I think that was crucial.
Absolutely.
I get the feeling this could be a very tight game here.
Absolutely, I agree
Mike?
with you. Yes, I mean, we talked about what was scratch score before, and it was evenly poised at the end of the first
This
innings.
is going to be very, very tight.
Yep.
The spinners into the wind might not be an easy task.
That was pretty sharp by the wicketkeeper there. This is Fanny's last over, his fourth and last over. So we won't see any of this strange bowling action that was originated in South Africa some time ago. That was an outside edge or off the pad maybe, off the foot. Yes, a leg by. They all count to the batsman, no extras count to anybody other than the batsman. Wacky rules, last man stands.
Makes it very interesting.
You must give us your judgment on the format in due course, not necessarily immediately, because this is only your second or third last man stands game that you've watched, isn't it?
Second year. So,
You watched part of the demonstration match in Glasgow in April, didn't you?
no.
Oh, no,
didn't
that was a
watch.
different match.
I didn't watch. I didn't watch. I was supposed to be there in April, but I changed, and then I only arrived in Glasgow in June, July.
That's right. You turned up late as usual.
That's right, as usual. Didn't like the early part of the weather in.
Oh, it was the
in
best
Scotland.
weather of the
It was the
entire.
best. I chose the wrong part.
That's right.
It was the rainy part. Oh, he got that hold
That's
of that
going
one.
for 4. That's well hooked, a full toss
Oh,
down the
that's
leg
a
side, dealt with summarily by Shariar Awan, and that takes his score up to 25, and the total to 48 for 1 wicket. They haven't got the wicket up on the scoreboard yet, but no doubt they'll catch up with that, but we're keeping tally for you. 48 for 1 wicket, and we've had 7 overs. We've had more than 7 overs now. No, it's 6, 7, that's right. This is the 8th over at the moment.
Oh, that was a welcome boundary.
It was indeed. And now we've got we have got a new bowler back again. So this is the 9th over. And this is number 4. That was the opening bowler,
That's the
Natala.
opening bowler, yes.
Off his compulsorily shortened run-up. So whether that affects his rhythm, I don't know. But anyway, that's the rule.
Started off well, just on and outside that off stump. Created a bit of doubt there.
Yeah. That's good to be just a single, fielded by the bowler. Just another run to Scobie's total. Andrew Scobie is now on 13. 14 in fact, and 49 for 1 wicket is the tally for Fulton's Flyers. That's a very delicately judged fine cut by Sharia Awan. He goes up to 26, and the score reaches 50 in the 9th over of the game. Well, one can't help feeling there's going to have to be at least one player that comes in and starts hitting big. Yep.
Well, I think they possibly have to just grow this partnership and wait until the change of overs and the bowler started to come and bowl into the wind.
Indeed.
But then there's 3 spinners there. They could be cause a little bit of trouble bowling into that wind. Oh, there's a wide.
That's a wide.
Try to bowl it even more slower.
Yep.
Out of the back of the hand, and unfortunately it went all haywire.
It's a no ball, it's a free hit. It must have been a no ball.
Oops.
Free hit coming up. And Andrew Scobie is the batsman facing the free hit. And let's see if it goes to the boundary. Oh, no. What does that count? That seemed to be deliberately quite wide, and it's been allowed to go through. And that's the end of that 9th over. The score is 51 for 1 wicket. Sharia Awan 26 not out. Andrew Scobie 15 not out. That was a strange business. If you have a free hit and you bowl a wide ball, I would have thought that was
I couldn't understand what happened there. I was going to ask you. It's,
very strange. I mean, you're supposed to bowl a normal ball, not deliberately, but it wasn't signalled wide, so what can you say? Right. Awan is now facing number 6, who is Sitvale, and that gets a single, driven to deep mid-off. Kolo Sitvale, number 6.
Well placed, should get 2. Yes, comfortably. Ideally, Fulton Flyers would have loved to be around about the 70 mark after 10 overs, possibly 10, 15 runs short.
Indeed.
But that can be made up. 2 blows when the bowler bowls into the wind, and you're hitting with the wind.
Yep. That was a missed opportunity there. Dot ball. Well bowled. Fulton's Flyers 54 now for 1 wicket. And 2 balls in the 10th over to go, and Andrew Scobie is facing. Target is 137 for victory.
Oh, an opportunity missed.
Missed by the fielders, I didn't see that.
Now missed by the batter to
Batsman.
score runs.
Ah, right, yes, quite. So that's the end of 10 overs, halfway through the innings, and Fulton's Flyers are 54 for 1 wicket, and I seem to remember that Langa were much the same at the end of 10 overs. Wasn't too different, much the same.
Well, they cashed in also when the bowling started to come up into the wind.
Yes.
So
Well,
that's what Fulton Flyers need to do.
yeah.
The only difference is that Langa's got a few more spinners than what
Is this Langeveld again?
No,
No,
this
this
is
is-
the other opening bowler. Who straight up in the air, might fall into a vacant area. Yes, he did.
And they've gone for 2. What's the number on the back? Number 3, I think it is.
Kobe, 18 of 20, and Awan, 28 of 22.
That's well pulled, carefully pulled. Are they going for the second? No, they didn't really go for that run. The number 3 bowler is Avil Jokazi. He batted very well indeed. Dot ball, bit of pace there.
Yep. Just needed a bit of bat on that one. Again, same thing. Outside off stump.
They're not giving wides outside the off stump very much, are they? The umpires. You've got to chase it as a batsman, clearly. Here we are going. That's nibbled away for a single to third man. The Scots are falling behind the run rate now. Reconference in the middle for the 2 batsmen while they decide who is to bowl the next over. And this is number 7 coming onto bowl, and his name is Nkosinati Jamie, Jame.
Yep. That's right.
Is that right?
Jamie.
Here he comes.
Left arm. Very interesting tactic that Langa is coming up with.
Yes. Well, that must have come off
They
at the end of the bat.
They bowled seam into the wind,
Yes.
and the spinners bowled with the wind. Whether they're going to use their spinners into the wind remains to be seen.
Well, one of the spinners has used up all his overs, and the other one has only got 1 left.
So very, very interesting.
Somehow the Fulton's Flyers batters have got to work out how to score more than 1 run per ball, because otherwise they will be left well behind.
Well, they need 78 of, what is that, 9 overs?
9 overs. This is the 11th over. Yes. No. Wait a minute. 5,
Oh, he's bowled him.
9, 10, 11.
Very good ball. He came around the wicket.
What's happening here? Was it a no ball?
Must have been a no ball.
Was it?
Must have been a no ball.
Must be a free hit then.
Yep.
I don't know whether it's been single.
Oh, there's the boundary going.
That's 6.
Got hold of that one.
Yeah. absolutely. Sheriar scored a 6, having been bowled the ball before. That's a nice shot.
That was in the arc.
Very easy, wasn't it?
That was in the arc. Well played.
Absolutely, well played. He waited for it, didn't he?
Nicely on the up.
Didn't try and play it too early.
Just helped it onto that.
Indeed. So Yami. Yami, I think, bowling now his 4th ball. Slower ball again, but Awan is onto it, and they only get 1 for that. So that takes Sheriar Awan up to 35 not out. Andrew Scobie's 22 not out. The total for Fulton's Flyers 67 for 1 were still in the 12th over. This is possibly the last ball, and that's well driven for 4.
Very well played.
Between the fielders, deep mid wicket, I suppose, all along the ground.
Very well played. From outside off stump, placed it nicely in the gap. Well needed boundary.
Yes, absolutely.
Well needed boundary. Good placing as well.
So at the end of 12 overs, the Fulton's Flyers are 71 for 1 wicket, 35 to Sheriar Awan and 26 to Andrew Scobie. And the accountants, both of them out there, will know what the remaining sum is, namely 67 further runs to score with only 8 wickets left.
The only thing that one can possibly question is the technique or the tactics. But counting you can't.
But the target is more than 8 and over.
Counting you can't, because they should know that.
Yes, should. So we're now in a period when the batters need to score at least 2 boundaries per over. 8.5 runs per over required for victory, and the field is spread out. There's nobody really anywhere other than on the boundary line, and that's been hit solidly by Sheriar Awan. That's going just a single. Oh, that was misfield, so they're going for a second one. Well run by Andrew Scobie, and there's a third one possibly there. No, overthrows are not quite enough, and this is presumably Mr. Langeveld again, is it?
Yes. It's all action now. Everybody is excited.
Absolutely. This is the
bit of anxiety going on there.
This is the big attraction of Last Man Stands. Not a single ball must be missed. That's well run. And that's a bye, which goes to the batsman. So Andrew Scobie was the one that called the run. And here comes a piece of plastic. We've had plastic floating across the ground all day with the strong wind, which is not as strong as it was at the beginning of the morning. And the plastic is heading for the boundary round about mid-off, and it has now gone over the boundary rope towards the scoreboard. Meanwhile, back at the action spot, no second run available for that. So there you are, as you see it. Awan 39 not out, Scobie 29 not out, and that is a dot ball. Awan has tried to overhit that one. You need to be calm at all times
Yes.
as a batsman.
Yes.
Don't get excited.
Well, it's
Play proper cricket.
the time of the game now where if you don't stay calm,
Absolutely.
you could lose the plot.
Yep.
You could lose the plot.
Because they've been there now for 12 and a half overs, and the new batsman has been in there for none.
Correct. Two.
Well, they'll be lucky. The fielder was well in already, and he's got the ball in his hand, waiting to see which end to throw. It's another single run there. There's the bowling analysis, only 1 wicket down so far.
Going to need 12 of this over.
Now, where's that one going?
In the gap, just falling short.
No, not enough space for 2 runs. Each over is a worry for both sides.
Oh, Fulton Fly's going to need 12 of this over.
Yep.
Ooh, that could be a no ball for height-wise. There's a no ball
It is a no ball,
height-wise.
so it'll be a free hit. Well spotted, Omar. You never bowled a ball like that, did you?
No, never ever. I received some of them.
Yes, indeed.
Never
And you
bowled
coped.
them. Never bowled them.
Here comes the free hit. Well run,
That was the free hit.
and they ran 2 off it. And then there was the original no ball, so that's a total of 3 off that ball. And
It is still a building sign, it's not in the cloud.
Oh, there's
it's going to be
no,
buys.
only one.
Yeah. And that's number 1, Nitala bowling. Number 4,
Boundaries are needed.
yes.
Moment he gets to 10 and over, it's going to be tough.
That's another no ball. No, it's over. It's over. He had his arm stretched out. It
Okay.
was just to indicate over. So that is 13 overs gone. And the score for Fulton Fly is 85, or 14 overs gone. So it's only got 6 more overs, and it's 53 to win. So they need to go at 10 and over now.
It's going to be tough.
9 and over required, exactly 9 and over.
There's 4. That's good.
4
That is
over.
what is required.
Well done, Scobie.
Plus a few more. Just behind square.
Yeah, exactly what the batting order needed. Well, that's taken the score up to 90 in the 15th over, 1 wicket down, and Sheria is now on 47, so he's in danger of retiring. And there's another of these wide balls that aren't signalled as wides. There is a guideline within the crease which indicates whether an umpire should signal a wide or not, and if the batsman backs away from that, it makes it look like wide, but it not actually is wide. Now and that's going to be 2. misfield out in the deep there, deep straight. And this is Nutala, who's bowling his third over of the innings. And Sheriar needs one for his 50. Oh, that's not Sheriar, that's Scobie, of course.
He's missed 4 runs there behind square. Not very happy with himself, unfortunately. That was his reaction. He knows how vital that boundary would have been.
Yep. Every ball counts. Every ball.
Oh, there's a wide for height. Oh, he's out. He's given out. Oh, that was very tight. The umpire thought that was out.
Yeah, I think that was out. Let's have a look again. And we've got a replay of that one. Anyway, Sheriar Awan will be very happy with his 47 not out. He'll be ashamed not to go to his 50, but 47 excellent runs by him, including 3 fours and a 6. And the new batsman is Kazim Farid, the oldest member of the team. See if he can get going quickly enough to keep the run rate up roughly with the target. The target now is 43 to win, and we're in the 16th over. So only 4 overs left. It's now, the target is 10 and over, and it needs some big hitting here. See if Farid is up to it. It's Langeveld again, isn't it?
Yep.
So it's a tough ask for Farid coming in to face one of the top batsmen, the top bowlers in this part of the world.
Oh, he's got back onto that. Fortunately, straight to third man.
Yep. They won't worry about the odd single, that's for sure. Scobie gets that to extra cover, and again it's only a single. Singles won't do it, guys.
That's 6. Oh,
Well,
he's hit that sweetly.
Excellent shot by Kazim Farid, who out of nothing has scored a 6. I think that is his first scoring shot, isn't it?
He's hit that sweetly. Straight in the screws.
Yep.
And on the roof of the squash courts.
Has it really gone up there?
It's almost blocked that onto the roof there.
Has it gone over down onto the ground on the other side? That's the question.
Straight onto the other side. Look there. Welcome. A necessary boundary.
Well, the dogs are going off to look for it.
So,
Are they cricket
What
ball
is that?
finding dogs? That's what we want to know.
what is that? 30 balls, is it? How many overs left? 5.
No, this is the 16th over.
Is this the 16th over?
Yes,
So that's 24 balls,
24, yes.
35 runs. Interesting.
Yes, Kazim Farid goes to 7 not out.
24.
The wide that was at his end.
That
Andrew
is-
Scobie's 36 not out.
So at
And
least
that was the end of the 16th over.
at least 2 more boundaries required, or 2 sixes required to make it a fairly even game.
Indeed. So Fulton's flyers now 102 for 2 wickets, with Andrew Scobie 36 not out and Kazim Farid 7 not out, having just hit a 6. He faced a wide, and that 6 was his first scoring stroke. But they both count towards his total. And we have Andrew Scobie now facing the bowler, and that's probably going to be fielded. Oh, it's definitely 2. Very nearly went over the boundary with that misfield. And the bowler is number 8. The new bowler is Zabiso Sinele.
Oh, is that over? There's the 6
Another
required.
6. That's Scobie 6.
He moves on to 38.
44
44.
now. Yes.
Right.
Another 6 and he was retired.
Very interesting
So Scobie has
situation.
gone up to 44 from that figure on the screen. And he faces this ball as well, and that goes for 4 runs, square leg. It will be 4, I'm sure, because it's, yeah, that's right. So that's 10 off 2 balls for Scobie.
Very good over so far.
Well, it helps to get 2 boundaries, one after the other.
Very good over so
Scobie
far.
now 48 and faces this ball. If he gets a 6, and he's retired with maximum runs. And that could be, it's only going to be 1. Scobie wants to face another over. So Kazim Farid faces this ball now. He's on 7 not out. His last scoring stroke was a 6.
Very good shot.
It's a lovely shot from Farid, an absolute classic. He didn't overhit that one, did he?
Very good shot. Well placed. Timed it very well.
And that's at least 14 off the over, 15 I think.
More than what the doctor ordered.
And so that is the 16 overs gone. No, 17 overs gone.
18
3 more balls,
18 required.
15
Very good.
balls. 15 balls, 18 required,
15 balls. Oh yes, 15 balls.
15 balls.
That's correct.
plus any extras.
Very interesting. Keep thinking of 6 ball and over. It's 5 ball over. Oh, is that a wide? No.
No, it's another of those elusive wides.
No.
At least the umpires have been consistent. It's been okay actually, the
They
umpire.
need minimum runner ball.
Yes.
Minimum 5 runs. Minimum 5
You
runs.
see, he's bowling there deliberately.
Yep.
Langa Veld.
Well, it's just outside off stump.
Yep.
Scobie can't get bat onto it. It's important that he get bat onto it. That's 2.
That'll be 2.
Has to be 2.
Definitely be 2. And that's Scobie got to retire now. So well done, Scobie. 51 not out. He retires on. And that's like a wicket for the Langa team. New batsman coming to the crease. The other new batsman has only faced about 5 or 6 balls, and he's got a 6 and a 4. That's Kazim Farid. Andrew Scobie scored 2 4s and a 6. And this is Aaron Krishna coming to the crease. Well done to Andrew Scobie. Scored a 51 for Fulton's Flyers. And I think this must be the last ball from Langeveld. And another one left. Oh, one more ball. Maybe one of them was scored as a wide, I don't know. Can't recall. So Aaron Krishna facing. Oh, and he's been clean bowled. The last ball of the over. Failed to score.
10 balls, 16 runs. Still interesting.
3 wickets down now for Fulton's Flyers. 121 for 3, chasing 137 for victory. So after this, there will be 2 overs to go.
Any batting left to can do this?
Yes, the batting goes right down to number 9.
Right down to number. Okay. Well, it will be tested. They will be tested.
This is Billy Patsada coming in to bat. Cheerful chappy, it says here in the programme, full of enthusiasm. A late developer, but ambitious for success.
Well, that's a plus.
Let's see if he can turn all of those words into action. But first of all, it will be Kazim Farid to face the bowler who I think it's just a single, I think, yes. And this is Sineli, the bowler, the 7th bowler to be tried by Langa. Billy Patsada facing his first ball. Single, driven, flat batted out to wide extra cover.
Fulton Flyers desperately in need of a boundary.
Absolutely.
Can it be this ball?
Kazim Farid facing.
There we go. Yes.
That's 4 runs.
That's the welcome boundary.
Yep.
Much needed.
Again, he didn't overhit that one, did he? He just got it in the middle of the bat.
Made sure he placed it nicely.
And it was theoretically stoppable by the fielder, but he wasn't to know how it was going to bounce. And a big appeal for LBW, but they get a leg by off that, I imagine, although it's not signalled. So maybe there was a bit of bat on that. Oh, exciting times. Another 9 for victory, with only 1 over to go after this. That's 8 off that. And that leaves 8 required off the final over.
Very interesting.
Put your money down on the table, Mr.
Now
Henry.
I've got to ask you. You know the team. I don't know the team. I'm only seeing the team today.
Well, I'm biased anyway.
Well, you have to be biased because you're part of the team.
Yep.
I would like to see them winning.
Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose.
They're going to need a boundaries somewhere.
Actually,
Preferably the first ball of the over.
if the scores are tied, How many wickets were lost by Langa?
Langa were down. They
5?
had one retired, was it? No, nobody. They
No.
got them out. So I think they were 5 down. I'm not
I
sure.
think it was 5 down.
Yeah.
So that would be a defining separator. It's Patsada
That's 1.
scoring a sensible single to leave Kazim Farid with the responsibility and probably the technique to do something about it. So 7 still required.
Anthony's statement. He's got to do it.
That's high, but it's not going to be caught. But it's only a single. So 6 required off 2 balls, I think.
3 balls.
3 balls, is it right?
3 balls.
6 of 3 balls.
Need a boundary. There's the boundary, 6. There's the boundary, 6.
And that's the winning runs.
He's hit that superbly well.
Billy Patsada does it again because he does this over and over again. And it wasn't the last ball of the it was the last ball of the innings,
No,
but he
it
doesn't
was-
get 12 because it wasn't the last official ball. He only gets 6 for that.
Well played. Very good shot.
If he'd waited another 2 balls, he'd have got 12.
Very good shot. Well, they planned it nicely. They planned it that way. Played that off the back foot straight over
Well-
the side screen. Fantastic shot.
That was a very good game between these two sides, and it's a shame that one side has to win and the other side has to lose. Langa played extremely well and kept up their target, their task. I can't think that they could do any better than they did, actually.
Well, it was a nice game. It was both sides sort of played some good cricket at stages, and they bowled well.
Indeed,
And the Fulton Flyers are happy.
absolutely. Now the situation is Group G of the World Championships, of the Last Man Stands World Championships. And there was a shock in the first game today when the Australian team, who were the top seeds, were beaten by the team from Johannesburg.
Alex Chiefs.
Yeah, and so that. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't from. Is it? Show me this again.
Yeah, it was Alex Chiefs.
No, it was. I think that was from Bangladesh. No, it wasn't Bangladesh. Yes, it was the team from Bangladesh
Oh,
that beat
okay.
them. I'm sorry. So the second 11 from Australia lost to Bangladesh, Tech Republic, and that was a shock. Those were the top 2 seeds, and here the Fulton's Flyers were the 3rd seed in this group, and Langa was the last seed, the bottom of the seeds. So this has gone according to the seeding,
Okay.
but it was a much better game than that. Now, what happens at this particular point is the 2 winning teams, if they can win one more game, will go into the championship section, and if they can't win another game, they go into the plate section of the
All right.
tournament.
Okay.
So you need to win 2 games to get into the championships. So the next game for both of these teams, now let's try and find these out. The next game for Fulton's Flyers is on Tuesday at 12 noon Cape Town time. That's 10 o'clock in the United Kingdom. If people are there wondering when they can watch the next game. Now that actually won't be on television because it's being played at the Gary Custon Oval, which is just the adjacent one, so you'll not see that live. And the Tech Republic, the Bangladeshis who won today against the second 11, they're playing tomorrow, Sunday, at 13:40, the start of the game in the afternoon. That's 11:40 UK time, and they will be playing Langa Cricket Club.
Okay.
And although both of those games are at the Gary Custon Oval.
So-
And we have another.
So 2 very good games there in that
Yes,
section.
well, they would be, absolutely. And we very much hope that Langa win.
Another upset, is it?
Well, it would be an upset,
Another upset.
but I'm biased.
Well, good.
There is one other attraction of tomorrow's programme, Sunday, because after the first 3 pool games that are being played in pools A and B, in the morning and the early afternoon. There is in the afternoon starting at 5 o'clock, and you can watch it live on QTV Sports' coverage, which will go out on YouTube, lastmanstands.com, and on Facebook /Last Man Stands. A charity match in aid of the Gary Kirsten Foundation.
Fantastic.
I'm not sure what they support, but I believe it's a very active foundation.
Worthy cause. They do quite a lot of work in the township area, coaching, etc. So it's for a very, very, very good cause.
Well, you were invited to play in that match, but you have personal other attractions too.
Unfortunately.
But we look forward to inviting you back to do some more commentary on any of these days that you care to come back, Omar. You'll be very welcome indeed.
Let's hope so. I will let you know now that I've seen the schedule, and
Indeed.
I'll give you a call to tell you whether I'm available.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed. We were very privileged to be accompanied in the commentary box by Omar Henry, the very first coloured person to play test matches for South Africa, and that's something that will never be taken away from him. But from Scotland's point of view, it was a victory by the skin of their teeth, with only one ball to go, was it?
That's right.
Fulton's Flyers beat Langa, and that takes them into a situation where they only need one more win to get into the championship knockout rounds.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And now we'll have to close our coverage of this first day of the World LMS Championships from the what is it called? The Cape Province, Western Province Cricket Club in Cape Town. From here and from all of us, thank you for watching and goodbye.